Well, athletes and coaches eagerly anticipating the kick-off here in Moscow. It's time to make some history. And a man to try and write another chapter in his will be Bradley Sinden. There he is, the main man in the centre of the screen. Of course, the big success in the London Grand Prix. Trying to replicate that, of course. Excellent bronze medal in Rome as well, to top up his bronze at the World Championships. Martin Stamper just peeking round the corner, but will they have good and clean viewing towards the final? It'll be a tough one. Edival Pontes against Bradley Sinden, and they're about to get underway in just a moment.
Semi-final and finals match in senior division. Men. Weight category up to 68 kilograms.
Well, a fantastic arena for the fighters to get the business done, to make history, as it says on the sign. And Bradley Sinden will be doing just that as he steps up in the first semi-final. Good local crowd. A few Taekwondo fighters in amongst it as well. Pretty hot in the arena, to be fair.
Read and support of your favorite athletes.
So the MC, of course, doing his duty. Likewise, the centre referee, extra points for the belt there. And he's going to get the points on the board as we get underway here. This one, the first semi-final on day number 1.
Athlete in blue, SINDEN-PONTES, representing Great Britain.
Well, here he comes, the world bronze medalist. Well, it looks nice and relaxed, and he should be another win against Jaoud Ashab, the man he beat to take the bronze in Rome. And of course, the coaching partnership so important. He and Martin Stamper working closely, particularly on the game plans, and they'll be ready for this one. Team Hotel not so far from the venue, so everything laid on perfectly in Moscow. The scene is set and the opportunity to go for big success. Well, it is, of course, Great Britain against Brazil.
Pontes Edival, representing Brazil.
Break out a bit of Michael Jackson. You can't beat it. Edival Pontes, well, he'll be trying to grab some points, some precious ones in this semi-final. Relative newcomer in the senior division, but he did take the Youth Olympic gold title in Nanjing, and he's the Pan-American champion as well, so beginning to establish himself. That win against Constantine Menin and Joel Gonzalez Bonilla and Zhao Shui. So Russia's number 2, Spain's number 1, and the Chinese Olympic champion all falling by the wayside. Edival Pontes, will points make prizes for him? And in this semi-final, he's getting ready to get underway here. Of course, video replay cards, a must. And Pontes, well, he looks calm, he looks ready, up for this one. He's going to have to be. We know that Bradley Sinden is one of those fighters, hard to hit. Bit of passionate support from his teammates in the crowd here in the Moscow basketball arena. He's going to hit the big scores here. Well, test complete. Fighters are ready, and I'm sure you are too. A warm welcome to Moscow as we get underway in this one. Pontes against Sinden, Brazil against Britain. And it's Bradley in blue, and Edival. Well, he's the man in red. This for a shot into the semi-final. Edival Pontes, slightly the taller of the two, and a year older than Bradley, 20 years old. Bradley still 19, gaining plenty of experience, and indeed experiencing a little bit of a setback there. 2-point shot under the guard to Pontes. Edival Pontes working, looking for an opportunity, sliding round nicely, trying to control that distance. Bradley Sinden Well, leaves a little space under the guard there. 2-0 in favour of the Brazilian. But it is the youngster from Britain, tries with the head kick. And no spaces at the moment. So finally poised here in the opening round. And of course the Moscow arena, it's actually really hot in here, so the athletes well advised just to take their time, get themselves settled into the match and try and get that rhythm. Good blocking from Sinden, closing the distance nicely. And there's a good return of the fire there. So he's back in it. Well, the referee, much to the consternation of Martin Stamper, waves it off and gives the Gamjom the other way. Well, he did signal for the points to be invalidated. Martin Stamper obviously within his rights to challenge that one. An early challenge, of course, in the semi-final. And this is the point of contention here. Was that holding on the inside that generated the head kick? The referee was straight on it. Well, that's the conversation he's having with the video review panel. Won't be a game changer, but could be significant at this stage. Martin Stamper, of course, world silver medalist in his own right, Olympian as well, so he knows his way around. But it's been a great day at the races for Edival-Pontes. Couple of big wins. That one against Joel Gonzalez, an excellent start for him. And Zhao Shuai, well, the Chinese Olympic champion, couldn't do anything about him. So the Brazilian on form. And let's see which way this one's going to go. Yep, the referee got the decision right. Martin Stamper plays the card early at the request of his player. It's rejected, and we are underway for the closing stages of this opening round. Scoreboard ready. Fighters are indeed. Well, the clock's ticking on the advances of Pontes, and it's the Brazilian with the lead. Well, Edival-Pontes grabbing a few very important points there in that opening period. Well, it's down to the coaches now to work their magic. We talked about that relationship, so important between coach and fighter to share the vital information just at the right time, if they can. Speaking of time, lots of it left. A couple of rounds still to go. Sinden and Stamper. That sounds like a detective series. But I detect there's a problem in the offing because the Brazilian looking good. And I say that one against Constantin Menin was a great start for him. And he's got his game plan solid here. As I said, Sinden slightly the taller, or slightly the shorter of the two. So the gaps are there for the Brazilian. And he's been a tough nut to crack so far. Sinden posturing, trying to probe. Both men content just to work off that front leg. There's a nice little hook round the corner. But I've been impressed by Edival-Pontes. His ability to defend, to concentrate, crucial. Better from Sinden, more movement, more pressure. But Pontes leaning back, taking his time. Little jumping monkey kick in the inside there, needs to be careful. Cam Johns can make the difference here. Just a minute and 15 seconds to go in this second period. Sinden tries with the chop, short kick underneath on the inside, but it's the accuracy there of the Brazilian. Picks up two and makes a 6-point lead. Do the judges like the punch? Not so much. does well to avoid the headshot there. The lights have gone out. Well, where were you when the lights went out? Bradley Sinden was concentrating as he puts 3 on the board to cut it to a 3-point game. Last 40 seconds, Sinden concentrating, beginning to get some momentum. Good shot there from Pontes. Back leg turning kick blasts off the body armour. Well, he's done extremely well, Edival Pontes, not just to score some points, but also to avoid the Gamjons. Sinden has given away a couple, Pontes yet to. Tough viewing for fighter and coach there. Reverse turning kick, whistles over the shoulder, short kick on the inside, tries the chop to the face. Putting on a bit of intensity, a bit of pressure here. Good headshot round the back there. Well, 10-5 at the end of that one. Bradley Sinden, signs of life from the young British fighter. But it's Edival Pontes. At the moment, it's pointing towards the final for him. Brazil in the lead, 10-5. And 2 to go. Well, Edival Pontes, one of those fighters, really makes it difficult to connect with him. Sinden likes to work inside. That headshot could make a difference. 10-5. Pontes understandably under pressure. Well, encouragement and wise words from the British team in the crowd there, wearing them down. The watchword, trying to put the pressure on, keep it going. No Gamjons hanging over the Brazilian, so Edival Pontes, he'll be happy with his work so far. Likes to lean back, keep his head out of the road as Pontes. Jumps well there. A little bit of sneaky stuff on the inside, blocks with a leg. Sinden, not full commitment there with that back leg. Tries it again. Edival Pontes really covering up well. Hasn't shown too much as an attacking force. There's an excellent step through from Sinden. Looking for the extra points, and they are duly added. Well, 3 points is the gap here in the third. Edival Pontes, the Brazilian, had the momentum. He has the marginal lead. Back leg turning kick from Bradley Sinden. The British fighter battling on here. Just over a minute to go. 15-12 now. Nice shot from Bradley Sinden under the guard. Edival Pontes again doing well to avoid the wrath of the ref, but breathing hard there, the Brazilian. Sinden's putting the pressure on. Oh, I'm really impressed by that from the Brazilian. Kept both of his hands in the way of that punch. No room at the end for Sinden. But will there be room in the final for who? 15-14, last 45. Shot left on the inside from Sinden. Tries with the head kick. Well, both men evening it up, 17-0. Well, they're separated by just a year in birth. Cannot be separated by points at the moment. Half a minute to go. The flick, that's the third time Sinden has done it. And talk about third time lucky. Perfect time to get here in the third. Leaves a space, tries a little jump on the inside there. The referee got a bit overexcited. Plenty to be excited about for Britain at the moment. 10 seconds to go. The Brazilian Edival Pontes had the lead all the way through. Sinden, for the first time, is forced onto the back foot. Doesn't give away any ground, but does give away points here. 19-all into the last seconds. Are we going to golden score? Oh, we certainly are. Semi-final number 1. Looking for a bit of drama here in Moscow. Who can find the moment of magic to put themselves into that final? This, of course, the first of the under 68 kilogram semi-finals. See for yourself, this one is on a knife edge. Well, he cut a frustrated figure towards the end of that third round. Had to hang on. Bradley Sinden, certainly the pendulum swung in his favour. Put the pressure on. That step up reverse helped. That's It's the level of commitment from the British fighter in blue. Puts himself in danger, claims the shot. What has Edival Pontes got here? We've seen him as an attacking force. We've seen him on the defence. Stick or twist time now. I won't be sticking around looking for that single shot. Who's going to take it? 2 points the winner. Focus from Sinden. Edival Pontes just taking his time. And no rush at all. Adjust the belt. But can he belt home a shot here? Back leg turning kick lands low. Well, he's worked well in the clinch, has Edival Pontes. That little front leg hook worked for him in the third round. Not so this time. Swinging a whist from the Brazilian, does well to keep his feet. Doesn't want to give away the gam. John Sinden was sure that one had scored. Had a quick look at the board. There's the back leg from Sinden, switches it up nicely. And there is confirmation for you into his Grand Prix final number 2. Did so well in London to take the silver, did Britain's Bradley Sinden. And he's going to be in the under 68 kilogram final. He had to dig deep for that one. Champions do. And he gets it done in the end. Credit, of course, to Edival Pontes. And it will be a well-deserved bronze for the Brazilian, who's absolutely out on his feet here. And that's a testament to the conditioning of Sinden. Had to dig deep, was well behind, had lost the momentum, but found the shot to win. A great accuracy, and to have that accuracy, you guys know if you're fighters or if you're just training,